Good morning, everyone. Let me start with a question. Have you ever rushed out the door with just a coffee in hand, thinking, I'll eat later? You're not alone. In fact, nearly 1 in 3 adults regularly skip breakfast. But here's something fascinating. Your body doesn't simply wait for food, it immediately begins a survival response. Your brain slows its focus, your metabolism shifts gears, and within hours, you're not just hungry, you're running on empty. Today I want to walk you through what actually happens inside your body, hour by hour, when you skip breakfast, and more importantly, how small, smart choices can completely transform your day, your energy, and your long-term health. Let's begin the morning, that moment you open your eyes after 7 or 8 hours of rest. During sleep, your body has been incredibly busy repairing tissues, balancing hormones, and cleansing the brain. It's an overnight masterpiece of biology, but it also uses up much of your stored energy. So when you wake up, your blood sugar levels are naturally at their lowest point of the entire day. Now imagine you decide to skip breakfast, perhaps because you're rushing to work, not feeling hungry, or trying to save calories. What happens next is far more significant than you might think. Your body is expecting fuel, and when it doesn't arrive, it switches into a mild state of stress. The hormone cortisol rises, your liver releases emergency glucose, and your brain begins to ration energy. You might feel okay at first, maybe even energized from the cortisol surge, but within an hour or two, your concentration begins to fade, your patience shortens, and small tasks start feeling like hard work. Your brain, which uses about 20% of your daily energy, doesn't store fuel like your muscles do. It depends on a steady supply of glucose from your bloodstream. When that supply drops, it's a bit like trying to drive a car with the fuel light flashing. You can keep going for a while, but not efficiently, and certainly not for long. Skipping breakfast also affects your mood. Low blood sugar leads to irritability, anxiety, and poor decision-making, a state often called being hangry. And it's not just a funny term, it's a real biological response. When your brain senses an energy deficit, it prioritizes survival over calm thinking. That's why small frustrations can suddenly feel overwhelming. So what can you do to prevent this morning crash? The answer is beautifully simple. Eat within 30 minutes of waking. Think of breakfast not as a chore, but as a signal, a message to your body that the day has begun and energy is on its way. The ideal breakfast includes 3 key components. Protein, it keeps you full and supports muscle repair. Try eggs, Greek yogurt, or a protein smoothie. Fiber, it slows digestion and balances blood sugar. Whole grains, oats or fruit are great options. Healthy fats, they stabilize hormones and sustain energy. Add avocado, nuts, or seeds. A simple meal like scrambled eggs with spinach on whole grain toast, plus a few berries, ticks all 3 boxes. It's quick, balanced, and sets your metabolism up for steady energy throughout the morning. If you truly can't face food early, even something small, a banana, a handful of almonds, or a smoothie can make a remarkable difference. It's not about the size of the meal, it's about breaking the fast intentionally. Remember, breakfast isn't just the first meal of the day, it's your body's first message of care. When you feed your body well in the morning, you're not only fueling your cells, you're setting the tone for focus, calm, and productivity that lasts all day long. By the time midday rolls around, something fascinating and slightly dangerous happens inside your body when you skip breakfast. Your hunger hormones begin to rebel. Let me explain. When you go for several hours without eating, your blood sugar remains low, and your body starts to increase levels of 2 hormones, ghrelin, your hunger hormone, and neuropeptide, your feed me now signal. These powerful messengers drive you to seek out food, quickly, urgently, and often the wrong kind. This is the moment many of us recognize it's lunchtime, you're starving, and suddenly that sugary pastry, that creamy pasta, or that extra-large sandwich looks irresistible. It's not a lack of willpower, it's biology. Your body is desperately trying to correct a fuel shortage. But here's the twist. When you finally eat after skipping breakfast, you're much more likely to overeat and to crave quick-release carbohydrates, foods that spike your blood sugar fast but leave you tired soon after. Within an hour or two, your energy crashes again, your focus drifts, and you feel sluggish. This is what I call the midday overeating trap. So how can we escape it? The answer is not about strict dieting, it's about stabilizing your body's rhythm. The key is balance and preparation. If you know your mornings are hectic and breakfast isn't set possible, don't just ignore your body sep's needs. Plan ahead. Have a smart snack ready by mid-morning. Something small but strategic, a boiled egg and a piece of fruit, a handful of almonds or walnuts, Greek yogurt with a drizzle of honey, or a slice of whole grain toast with peanut butter. These foods are rich in protein and fiber, the two nutrients that tell your brain, I'm satisfied. They help regulate insulin levels and prevent those dramatic blood sugar spikes that make you crave junk food later. Another powerful tool is mindful eating. Before you grab lunch, pause for just 30 seconds. Ask yourself, am I truly hungry, or am I tired, stressed, or bored? This small act of awareness can reset your relationship with food. It helps you choose quality over quantity, and when you eat more slowly, your body actually has time to signal fullness before you've overeaten. And here's a fascinating fact. Studies show that people who eat breakfast consume fewer total calories in a day than those who skip it. Not because they eat less, but because they make more stable food choices. When your blood sugar is steady, your brain can make rational, healthy decisions rather than reactive, craving-driven ones. So if you often find yourself wondering why you overeat at lunch or feel heavy and tired in the afternoon, the problem likely started several hours earlier with a missed breakfast and a hormonal chain reaction. Remember this truth: when you fuel your body early, you protect yourself later. Hunger should never control you. It should guide you gently toward nourishment. A little preparation and a bit of awareness can stop the midday trap before it even begins. Don't let your body beg for energy. Teach it that you'll provide it, calmly and consistently. That's the secret to balanced eating, steady energy, and a clearer mind all day long. Let's talk about your brain, that extraordinary organ that weighs just about 3 pounds, but uses 1/5 of your body's total energy. It's like the control center of a spacecraft, constantly processing, planning, reacting, and storing information. And its fuel, glucose, the simplest form of sugar your body produces from the food you eat. Now, imagine what happens when you skip breakfast. You've already gone 8 or more hours without eating overnight. Your body is running on reserves, and your brain, deprived of its preferred energy source, starts to slow down. You may not notice it immediately, but it shows up in subtle ways: difficulty concentrating, forgetting small details, zoning out during conversations, or feeling strangely irritable. That's brain fog, your mind's gentle alarm telling you, I'm running low on fuel. Many people misinterpret this fog. They assume they're just tired, stressed, or distracted. But in reality, their brain is sending a biological SOS. When glucose levels drop too low, neurons, the cells responsible for thought and focus, don't communicate as efficiently. The brain begins conserving energy by slowing non-essential functions like creativity, long-term planning, and emotional regulation. That's why skipping breakfast can lead to that mid-morning slump where even simple tasks feel mentally draining. You may find yourself rereading the same email 3 times or struggling to remember what you were about to say. It's not laziness or age, it's low fuel. So, what can we do about it? The answer is simple: feed your brain before it fades. Start your day with a meal that provides slow, steady energy, not a sugar spike that fades fast. The best foods for brain power are complex carbohydrates, healthy fats, and lean protein. Think of oats topped with chia seeds and a few nuts, or a slice of whole grain toast with avocado and a boiled egg. These foods release glucose gradually, keeping your brain alert for hours rather than minutes. Hydration is another often overlooked key. Even mild dehydration, just 2% loss of body water, can reduce mental performance and short-term memory. So before you reach for coffee, drink a full glass of water as soon as you wake up. It's a simple habit that rehydrates your brain and improves focus almost instantly. If your mornings are chaotic, try preparing the night before. Overnight oats, smoothie packs, or pre-boiled eggs can make brain fueling effortless. Remember, convenience should never replace nourishment. It should make it easier to stay healthy. Here's one more powerful morning habit: mindful eating. Don't eat breakfast while scrolling your phone or rushing out the door. Sit down, even for 5 minutes, and truly focus on your food. When you eat calmly, your digestion and nutrient absorption improve, meaning your brain gets more of the fuel it needs. So next time you feel foggy, unmotivated, or forgetful mid-morning, don't blame your workload or the weather. Ask yourself, did I feed my brain today? Because focus, clarity, and creativity aren't random, they're fueled. The mind performs best when the body is cared for. Give your brain the nourishment it deserves each morning, and you'll discover sharper focus, steadier mood, and a clearer sense of direction, not just for your day, but for your life. Now let's talk about one of the most fascinating and misunderstood hormones in your body, cortisol. Often called the stress hormone, cortisol is not your enemy. In fact, it's one of your body's greatest allies when it's properly balanced. It helps you wake up, stay alert, regulate blood pressure, and even burn fat. But like any good thing, too much for too long can become a problem. And skipping breakfast is one of the most common hidden triggers that throw cortisol out of balance. When you wake up, cortisol naturally rises to help you feel alert and energized, a response known as the cortisol awakening response. It's your body's natural alarm clock, preparing you for the day ahead. But if you don't eat, your body assumes there's no fuel coming in. To compensate, it releases even more cortisol to keep blood sugar levels up by breaking down stored energy from your muscles and liver. This might sound helpful, but here's the issue. Chronically elevated cortisol creates a ripple effect. It increases anxiety, raises blood pressure, slows digestion, and even signals your body to store fat, particularly around the abdomen. You may feel jittery, irritable, or lightheaded by late morning. You might crave caffeine or sugary snacks to feel normal again. These are all subtle clues that your stress system is working overtime. Here sits a quick self-test. Do you often feel anxious or shaky before lunch? Do you rely heavily on coffee to wake up? Do you notice mood swings or headaches mid-morning? If you answered yes to any of these, your cortisol may be out of rhythm, not because of stress alone, but because of skipping breakfast. So what can we do to fix it? Start by retraining your morning routine. Within the first hour of waking, aim to calm your body's stress response before it spikes. Begin with hydration and breathing. Take 3 slow breaths, in for 4 seconds, hold for 2, and exhale for 6. This simple act lowers cortisol instantly by activating the parasympathetic or rest and digest system. Then, feed your body something nourishing. Even a small, balanced meal, such as oatmeal with nuts or yogurt with fruit, tells your brain, I'm safe, I'm nourished, you can relax. This message allows cortisol to drop naturally and sets the tone for hormonal balance throughout the day. If your mornings are hectic, try keeping quick, healthy options on hand, protein bars, smoothies, or overnight oats. The goal isn't perfection, it's consistency. You're teaching your body that it can trust you to provide energy regularly. In the long term, managing cortisol through regular meals, proper sleep, and gentle activity like walking or stretching protects not only your mental well-being, but also your heart, metabolism, and immune system. So the next time you feel that rush of anxiety or mid-morning unease, don't just blame stress or caffeine. Listen to your body sips whisper. It might be saying, I need fuel, not fear. Remember, when you start your day with calmness and nourishment, your body's chemistry shifts from survival mode to stability. And that one small morning choice can shape your entire emotional landscape for the day ahead. Let's fast forward to the middle of your day. Around 2 or 3 p.m., you've been working, thinking, and moving for hours. Then suddenly you feel it, that heavy wave of tiredness that seems to come out of nowhere. Your eyes droop, your focus fades, and your motivation drops sharply. This is what we call the midday energy slump. And if you've skipped breakfast or had an unbalanced morning, it can hit like a brick wall. What's happening inside your body is both fascinating and entirely preventable. After hours without steady fuel, your blood sugar starts to dip again. Your brain, muscles, and cells are craving energy, but the reserves are running low. The result: fatigue, low mood, poor concentration, and that irresistible urge to reach for caffeine, chocolate, or quick snacks. Now, many people think this afternoon crash is just part of modern life. It's normal to feel tired after lunch, they say. But in truth, it's not normal. It's a sign your energy system is out of sync. Our bodies are designed for steady rhythm, fuel, movement, and rest in balance. When one part is skipped, the rest of the day suffers. If you've missed breakfast or eaten too little, your body has been running on stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline for hours. These hormones can only sustain you for so long before they start to fade, leaving you drained. And when that happens, your body does what it's designed to do. It tells you to stop, rest, or eat. Here's the empowering truth. You can train your body out of the slump by giving it what it needs: movement and mindful fueling. Let's start with movement. When you feel the afternoon crash approaching, don't reach for coffee right away. Instead, stand up, stretch your arms over your head, roll your shoulders backward 5 times, take a few deep breaths, and if you can, walk for 2 minutes, even around your home or office. Why? Because movement increases circulation and oxygen flow to your brain, which reawakens alertness naturally. Think of it as plugging your body back into its power source. Just 2 minutes of gentle motion can shift you from fatigue to focus. Then, if possible, fuel your body smartly. Have a light snack that combines protein and complex carbohydrates, perhaps a handful of nuts with an apple or hummus with vegetable sticks. These foods provide steady glucose release, preventing the sharp peaks and crashes that lead to that drained feeling. Also, pay attention to hydration. Often, fatigue masquerades as thirst. A single glass of water can boost energy and clarity within minutes. So before grabbing caffeine, try hydration first. For those working long hours, I often recommend a simple afternoon ritual: pause, stretch, drink water, and step away from your screen for 2 minutes. These micro breaks restore both mental and physical stamina far better than sugar or caffeine ever could. The midday slump is not a sign of weakness. It's your body's feedback loop. It's telling you what it needs: balance, nourishment, and movement. Remember, energy isn't found in a cup. It's created by rhythm. So, honor your body's natural flow. Move when you're tired, nourish when you're empty, and rest when you're done. That's how you transform the dreaded slump into steady strength, not just for one day, but for a lifetime. Now let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Not just how skipping breakfast affects your morning or your afternoon, but how it quietly shapes your long-term health. You see, every time you skip breakfast, your body makes micro-adjustments to survive. Over time, those small adjustments can become patterns, and those patterns can have serious consequences for your metabolism, hormones, and overall well-being. Your metabolism is like an orchestra. When every section plays in harmony, your blood sugar, insulin, hunger hormones, and energy levels, your body performs beautifully. But when you skip breakfast, it's like removing the conductor. The rhythm falters, the instruments fall out of sync, and eventually, the music turns into noise. Here's what actually happens on a biological level. When you consistently miss your morning meal, your body goes into energy conservation mode. It begins to slow down calorie burning, holding tightly to fat stores because it doesn't know when the next meal will come. Your insulin sensitivity, the ability to use glucose efficiently, starts to decline. Over months or years, this can increase the risk of weight gain, insulin resistance, and even type 2 diabetes. But that's not all. Chronic breakfast skipping also raises cortisol and adrenaline levels over time, keeping your body in a state of mild stress. This can disrupt sleep, weaken immunity, and affect thyroid function, the very gland that controls metabolism. And ironically, many people skip breakfast to lose weight. Yet studies show that regular breakfast eaters actually tend to maintain healthier body weights. So what's the lesson here? It's not about perfection, it's about consistency and kindness to your body. When you feed yourself in the morning, you're not just satisfying hunger, you're sending a signal of safety. You're telling your body, you're cared for. Energy is coming, you can relax. That message allows your metabolism to function freely and efficiently. Here's a powerful preventative habit: plan your breakfast the night before. If your mornings are busy, try overnight oats with fruit and chia seeds, or pre-boil a few eggs for the week. You can even make smoothie packs. Toss in spinach, berries, and protein powder, and blend in seconds. The easier you make healthy choices, the more likely you'll stick with them. Add one more layer: gentle morning movement. Even a 10-minute walk after breakfast helps your body regulate blood sugar, kickstart metabolism, and enhance mood. The combination of movement and nourishment sets up a hormonal balance that protects your health long-term. Think of every breakfast as an investment, not just in today's energy, but in your future strength, focus, and longevity. Because health isn't built in a day, it's built in the repetition of small, loving actions. So the next time you're tempted to skip breakfast, remember this: You're not saving time, you're stealing energy from your future. Feed your body now, so it can serve you with vitality, focus, and resilience for years to come. When you make that one small choice every morning to fuel, not to fast, you set to telling your body the most powerful message of all: I choose health, I choose balance, and I choose to thrive. So what truly happens when you skip breakfast? Your body goes into quiet chaos, your brain slows, your hormones spike, your cravings take control, but the good news, you hold the reset button. Start small. Tomorrow morning, eat something, even if it's just a banana and a handful of almonds. Fuel your body, and your body will fuel your day. Remember, health doesn't come from big changes. It's built from small, consistent choices made every morning. So don't skip the meal that starts your success. Make breakfast your first act of self-care each day.